So I started reaching out to US manufacturers to design my Amazon FBA private label product, and these are the real results. Several months ago, I started noticing that sourcing from China was getting more and more difficult. So I've tried several different ways. I've tried sourcing from Vietnam, and I've successfully done that. I've tried sourcing from, different suppliers in China and working with different freight forwarders. And eventually I came to this idea, hey, maybe let's cut out all of the logistical issues with shipping, because shipping was getting so expensive. It's evening back out now, but it was getting really ridiculous. And let's try and source from US suppliers. Then it's made right here. Say something's made in Pennsylvania or something. You have to ship to New York or ship to, wherever really. So, you're looking at maybe a week to ship it max if it's a big shipment. And it's at an Amazon FBA fulfillment center, and then that's it. Shipping costs is going to be lower and it's going to be faster. It seems like a win-win. The only question I had on my mind is, could the difference in shipping time and shipping cost outweigh the price difference of the product itself? And here's what I found. So, I started looking just in general for, wooden manufacturers, for decor, or for, new products in general. I like working with wooden products, and every supplier I reached out to, both for new products and products that I already sell that I was looking to convert, right? So I have products that are currently made out of wood that I sell on Amazon, and I said, hey, here's what I'm paying overseas for this product. Here's the exact blueprint for it. How much can you make this for? So here's a real example, okay? I have a product manufacturers overseas that, with shipping included, manufacturing included, everything, all in cost is $16 per unit exactly. Now, when I took that overseas, I guess it would be overseas, but the other way around. So when I took that to the US and I asked for a quote for that same product, now keep in mind, this is a 2-pack. So it's really $8 a unit, but we sell them as one, so it's $16 per unit. They said one unit, half of this, is going to be $33 and some change. Okay, so two of them is $67. I sell them on Amazon. Keep in mind, I sell them on Amazon for $49.99. So I'm $17 higher than my sales price on Amazon, not my sourcing price. I would have to sell these things for $180 to make good margins. That's really not possible. Okay, I can't charge that much for this product. It's just not possible. And that's just one scenario, okay? That's converting an existing product where my all-in cost is $16. It went up to $60+. The market is not receptive to, you go, oh, well, you could probably charge more if it's American made. Yeah, well, I can't charge 2 to 3 times as much though. Maybe I could charge 10 to 20% more, not 300% more. That's not going to happen. So then I go down the path of reaching out to suppliers for new products. Okay, maybe it's just the fact that they have to design this. What if I took something they already make, and I try and sell that on Amazon? Well, again, the product would end up being 200 to 300% more expensive to manufacture. So then I start thinking, well, how in the world, we're on ThomasNet here, by the way, and this is a place to find US manufacturers. How in the world are people doing this? Because I know there are things that are made in the US, sold on Amazon, made in the US, sold by direct-to-consumer companies. Almost every time I look further, it's a privately owned manufacturing situation. They're manufacturing their own goods. They're renting a facility and packaging and making their units there. Or they're doing half and half. Designing in the US, creating the raw goods in China, assembling here, shipping back. So you don't have to package, you can send a lot more units more effectively if you're just making the raw units there, or just the materials to assemble, because you can put everything into a box. There's not restrictions like there is to send to Amazon. It doesn't have to be in individual boxes in that box. You could put probably, cut your size of the shipment back 80%, right? Because everything can go in one box without being individually packaged. So then I go, okay, now things are making sense, right? Yeah, if I had a warehouse where I went down and I had employees packing things for me, then I could do assembled in the US, or even made in the US if I'm getting raw materials and my employees are assembling the product here. Sure, that makes sense, right? Because I'm not paying a middleman all the extra fees for the work and everything that's being put into it, so I can make that economically sound model there for made in the US. My final true results are this is probably not going to work for almost everything that you do. And I'm sorry to put it so harshly, but that's where we are right now, unless you're doing what I just said, where you and your own team are the manufacturer. That can work. I personally am not interested in being an operator. I work with my business partner. I'd say he's almost more of the operator. I'm more of an innovator. We're half and half partnership. I'm far more big idea, grand, get things rolling. He's far more detail oriented. Let's operate this and let's do it right. We don't want a physical location, right? That's not really our thing. If you have a different route that you want to take and that sounds interesting to you, by all means, go ahead. You can rent something for probably $2,000 a month. And if you're making, 5 figures per month in profit, that's okay, right? And it might make more sense. And it might actually be really fun to have a legitimate business location where you're manufacturing things and you could introduce new products and build them there yourself. As long as we're talking reasonable, okay? We're not like simple products that are probably wooden that like woodworkers can create, or things that are sewn where people can sew them. We're not really talking about CNC machinery or like intense plastic molds or metal molds. That's far more advanced, and there's probably no way you're going to be able to get to that level as a beginning Amazon seller or someone who's been selling for a few years that wants their own location to manufacture in the US. So like anything, it's not impossible, but it's going to demand a lot more from you, and you're likely not going to be able to work with a custom manufacturer that already exists to make your product. Now, if I've reached out to double digits worth of manufacturers, so we're talking probably over 20 or something. I'm not talking about 2,000, right? If you reached out to 100 or 500 manufacturers for one product, maybe someone can do it. But from the amount of work that I've put in over the past couple months, actually looking every time I find a product I want to sell, looking and trying to find a manufacturer that can do it, and we're not even talking about packaging yet, so it gets that's usually just making the raw product, and packaging's up to you, so it gets more complicated from here. But I haven't been able to make it work yet. So that's just the honest results. That's the true results. The profit margins have not been there for me. I don't think they'll be there for you. Right now, I'm moving more towards understanding my customer better. There's nothing wrong in today's economy to make something overseas, I don't think. As long as the shipping, the margins make sense, everything makes sense, and you're designing a truly high quality product. On one of my recent Savage University live calls, I do a live call every week. It's only like $50 a month if you're in my course. There's a link down in the description if you want to get into that. It's a group call on Zoom, so you ask me live questions. And I was talking about this. People were like, I was like, technically it's not like China makes cheap products. There used to be this thing in like the early 2000s where it's like, oh, everything from China is cheap. It's like, well, the phone that you're using to complain about everything being cheap was made in China, right? Designed here, sure, designed in California by Apple. It was made there, right? They have not some of the best chip creators and the best manufacturing in the world, right? That's why they manufacture things. It's what their economy does incredibly well. So you can find beautifully manufactured products in China, and this idea that US is somehow better or superior is definitely wrong. It makes more sense logistically, and yes, you're supporting local business, which is great. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying also have the perspective the other way around, where it's not bad to have it manufactured there. And, everything is, it could be seen as a dichotomy. In some situations, and there are things that are not great about manufacturing in China. I don't want to get into it politically. I'm just saying from like a business standpoint, okay? A business standpoint and a non-dogmatic standpoint. If you're getting a really high quality product design there, then I don't see the negative downside to that. So as of right now, I'm continuing to look. Every time I manufacture something, I'm checking. It doesn't make any sense if I reach out to a bunch of suppliers and no one can do it for the same. They're probably never going to be the same price, but reasonably within a profitable area. I'm going to go with them. I'll try it out. I'll continue updating you. If 6 months down the line, I do have a U.S. manufactured product, you will be the first to know. So with that being said, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I appreciate you being here. And thank you for subscribing. I look forward to seeing you in other videos in the future. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Later.